everyone. Donathan, founder, co-owner of Legacy Begins. Today, I'm going to speak to young entrepreneurs, mostly people who are between the ages of 10 all the way up to 25 who are looking at starting their own business. As a young entrepreneur, you're going to face a lot of challenges. It's going to be hard because people aren't going to take you serious, especially if you don't have any groundwork or solid foundation in which you have a business on. So, if you're trying to go in and get investment or you're trying to go in and pitch ideas to people, it's hard for people to, you know, adapt your ideas or your perception of what the world should be like if you don't have any groundwork or any background in doing this and you haven't been successful in doing this. From my own experience, I could speak on, even when I was 12 years old, I used to do eBay, online selling. And, it's amazing how easy it was back then. When online was just getting started, most people hadn't even known how to use the internet, let alone try to sell and make a business online. As a 12-year-old, it was hard to identify the concept of being able to make money so fast. Me and my friend were selling Body by Jake's through a drop shipper, which drop shipping wasn't so fulfilled like it is now in the eBay atmosphere. But we were selling Body by Jake's, and we made over 10 grand in a week and a half, which is amazing at the age of 12 years old. So I can speak from experience that it was a lot easier back then. Today, things are a lot harder for young entrepreneurs, and it's a lot harder for people to accept the ideas of young entrepreneurs, obviously because of the economy that we're in. People are less likely to listen to people because they think that they are trying to sell them on a lot of false advertisements. So, online you may see a lot of people doing network marketing and various things like that who are putting up a whole bunch of posts on the social networks and befriending people and sending out a whole bunch of emails. All this right now is spam. So as a young person, this is what the older generation is looking at you as spam. Just a whole bunch of people running around talking about information that's useless to them and that probably isn't going to get them anywhere. So as a young entrepreneur, what I want you to do is I want you to stay committed to making sure that you come professional in anything that you do. If you're going to present a business idea to somebody, make sure that you have a solid foundation on which you want to present that business. Make sure you have your business plan if that's how you want to present your business. Make sure you have numbers down. Make sure, if you're going to have a website or you're going to have a physical location, make sure you have all this in place, or at least an idea of where you would want or how you would want this structured before you come and present this. Don't just present an idea to somebody and don't have any solid foundation. This is one reason people aren't going to take you serious. The second thing is know the market. If you don't know what market you're getting into, don't get into it. Because a lot of times people will try to get in a market because they think they have the next innovative thing and don't realize that something is already out there like that and it's more efficient. So, when you're thinking of products, you got to think of, hey, if I was a consumer, is this going to be efficient? Is this going to be efficient to manufacture? Because a lot of what people are trying to do now are one-off products, and it's hard to make a one-off business because you can only make it one time, and then you're going to have to do that again. There's no real standardization for one-offs. So that's one thing when you look at a business. You can make a great restaurant, but is it going to beat McDonald's? No, because McDonald's has standardization implemented into their structure. So anybody who comes into McDonald's can make a burger with the same consistency as anybody else that comes into McDonald's because McDonald's has standardization. And this means that you could take yourself away from the business, which ultimately is what you want to be able to do, so that way you can enjoy a lot of life while your business is still running for you. So you don't want to make a too complicated business that you can't walk away from it. So as a young entrepreneur, what I want you to think of is efficiency, which is hard at such a young age. I know I have trouble with it myself as far as staying committed and staying persistent on a day-to-day basis to make sure that everything is getting done that needs to be done. But as a young person, what I want you to do is I want you to stay committed, stay persistent, and make sure that you're making something that's going to be efficient. And think of you as a consumer and think of your parents as a consumer. If my parents have to use this, are they going to be able to use this? A lot of times we just look at our generation, aren't looking at, one or two generations ahead of us that may have to use this product. So, you got to step out of your light. You want to surround yourself with older people, with younger people, with successful people, with people who have trial and error, with people who have some foundation. You want to surround yourself with a plethora of people so that way when you're getting into entrepreneurship or you're trying to get into a business, you have some framework to work from. because it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. If you don't have any framework, people are not going to take you serious. And yes, it would be nice to be blessed with the last name of Rothschild or Gates or anything like that. But unfortunately, 99% of us are not. So, in order to have the same kind of presence that they have when going in and talking to people, you want to make sure that you have framework. You want to make sure you have a foundation. You want to make sure that you're consistent, and you want to make sure that you're persistent with whatever you're doing. Because if one door doesn't open the first time you knock on it, knock again. A lot of people want to get discouraged and give up, especially when you're a young age. It's easier to give up than it is to stay moving on because you have little to no responsibilities at all as far as kids and everything else. Whereas, someone who has kids or a lot more responsibility is going to keep knocking on the door because they know that knocking on this door is maybe their only chance at success. So, I want you to be a young entrepreneur and think as a young person would and be optimistic, but at the same time you got to put yourself in shoes that you normally wouldn't be able to fill, and you need to fill those shoes and make sure that when you're going out that you're reaching for success and that you're staying persistent and once again staying committed to whatever you want to do. Thank you.